Well, hello, this is Kathleen Caldwell, founder of C-Suite Networks, Women's Coaching and Consulting Council, and the very new Corporate Roundtable. I'm so grateful that you're here. And we're going to just run through a couple slides to set the stage, create the context, because as we know, context is always decisive. It's the thing that's up in the world right now. And I'm so grateful to present our new roundtable and towards the middle of our presentation here to get a conversation going so we can talk about the elements of the roundtable, what's important to you, and what do you see are the opportunities, and how can the roundtable support you? So with that, I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of this delightful council filled with really smart, committed, wonderful women coaches and consultants, trusted advisors, thought leaders, and that's who I am as well. So sisters, we're in the same community, the same tribe, the same global sisterhood. And so with that, I wanted just to set the stage. I have a lot of corporate experience. I was in corporate for about 25 years. I was involved very early in my career. Right out of college, I got in the tech industry in Silicon Valley. And I didn't have a tech background. I had a history degree, was planning to be a lawyer and decided, no, I don't think I want to be a lawyer. And so I went into tech early on. And so I had the great opportunity to be part of two public offerings with companies that were going public and considered a key employee, one of the employees that was first in the company. And so these public offerings went really well, didn't need to work. But after that, decided I was way too young to be sitting on the sidelines. And so with that, I made the choice to take my experience, my context, my relationships, all of that, and then as a consultant and a coach, go back into my corporate accounts and coach them and develop team building and leadership programs for them. So as you can see from the logos here, I have a lot of experience in how to do that. And have created frameworks and methodologies and a whole system on how to unlock the corporate coaching code. And so with that, I'm coming to us to really say that there is so much opportunity. You've probably seen the statistics all over LinkedIn that pre-pandemic in 2000, 2001, on LinkedIn, there were about 2 million people who in their description had the word coach or consultant, trainer, educator in their description in LinkedIn, about 2 million. Now, if you do the same search on LinkedIn, there are, depending upon the algorithms, there are generally about 4.5 million people on LinkedIn that have this title. So there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of quote unquote competition. But I think that here's the opportunity. There are a lot of people going for the B2C kind of business to consumer business. What we're talking about today is business to business. So we're a business. We're going to be working and doubling down in our roundtable about corporations, okay, and unlocking this code, because there's a code to get in, honestly. There's a special key that is needed in order to get in the front door, literally, come in through the side door, come in through the back door. And there's all kinds of methods that we can use to do that. But the opportunity is real. There's no doubt that. And you can't pick up a news feed now, newspaper, whatever you're reading these days, and without seeing what's happening in corporate. With the pandemic, so many women especially left corporate. They moved and they started their own businesses. And that corporations are having an extremely hard time getting people to come back into the corporate workplace, literally on Zoom and figuratively, back physically in the office, as well as even emotionally and physically back into the office. And so people are looking at new options. Loyalty to corporate jobs is on the decline. And so the bottom line is corporations, organizations, HR, sales teams, marketing teams, any kind of division and department within corporations, they need our help to help coach and consult with their employees. Okay, so it's a great opportunity. And you, as a woman coach consultant, you have the best opportunity to go back in and serve our sisters in corporate. The big consulting firms, you can certainly read what's up with them. I don't need to name names here, but there's been several books written recently on these massive transformation projects. They're incredibly expensive. We're talking about multi hundreds of $1 million in consulting fees. But the challenge is most of the time they don't stick. Okay. And so coaching is a great opportunity because coaching, as we know, is one-to-one, one-to-many, intimate, bespoke, detailed. It's heart to heart. It's person to person. It's not a generic kind of, consulting kind of gig. And so business coaching, you can see here the stats. IBIS World just did an analysis. They're always analyzing, what's happening with coaching and with different industries. So our coaching business is on the rise. Okay, as you know, and corporations, they don't have the staff, they don't have the internal teams, the expertise. They're too busy handling issues, payroll, DE&I, initiatives, insurance, benefits, all kinds of different things. They don't have the capacity within HR generally to provide the coaching that the employees need. Okay. And when we coach and support the employee, the retention, those statistics I'll present at another time, but the statistics are sky high when people receive coaching. Okay. And I don't know about you, but when I was in corporate, I didn't have a coach and I had no one that I could go to talk about the real issues in my job. I couldn't go to my manager, couldn't go to my boss, couldn't go to my colleagues. And so I needed a trusted advisor outside of the company who was all in it for me. And I ended up hiring my own coach that was supporting me in this. And so supporting people within the organization is what coaches can do. And, more about that at a later time, but I just wanted to present the business, the numbers that it's on the rise. So hence why our corporate roundtable is really important now is the time is right. The zeitgeist is right. The world is talking about the importance of coaching. There are more coaches out there than ever before. And our roundtable is meant to serve you, the woman coach and consultant, trusted advisor, thought leader, on how to get into corporate, how to unlock this corporate coaching code. And so my thoughts are, and I want to get your feedback on this, is to start off with a one time per month, a solid 60 minutes, one time a month, maybe even 75 minutes, we'll see, but to have an information, tactical and strategic rich time every month where, number one, we have time for networking and discussions member to member, okay? And it's amazing, but the majority of my business now within corporations, it comes all from referrals, and it comes from referrals from fellow coaches and consultants who don't do. I have a trademarked program called Team Intelligence that I deliver into corporations. And, many coaches and consultants don't do team building. And so they refer me in. I pay them a beautiful affiliate fee. Everybody wins. And so this is something that we could all be doing more of, is referring business. And, oftentimes coaches will say, well, but then I lose the business. Well, if we don't have the core competency, we don't have the trusted program, the frameworks, the relationships, it's better to be the person who's bringing in a trusted associate, ally, colleague, than lose out on the business. Okay. And we'll get into those strategies as well, but it's a shift in mindset, sisters. It really is, from a scarcity model to an abundance model, that you are the connector. You're the one who's bringing in trusted resources, people, opportunities, value add. Okay. Be the connector. Don't, I think being the person who's, trying to scrounge for every penny in the corporation, that's not a winning solution in my experience. Okay. So in our roundtable, yes, thank you. And I'm going to pause here in a moment, is my vision is that we'll have networking and discussions, small groups, and so that we really get to know what our colleagues are doing in corporate, and then having specialized programs. This one time a month, we're going to pack it full with great value. So we'll do surveys. What are the things that you want to know about in corporate coaching? And the biggest, one of the most exciting things is my commitment is that we create a referral program, meaning if you are part of our roundtable, which is going to turn into a council very, very soon, if you're part of our vetted council and roundtable, you will be part of a referral program that corporations can come to our site and be able to look up, retreat coaches or relationship coaches or, experiential coaches or, leadership coaches, whatever it is, and be able to have you listed as a member in the council. You'll be listed and you'll be almost like a referral bureau is the intention as well. Okay. I also am excited to bring in my corporate clients to have special roundtables with them, speakers, panels, so that we get kind of the inside view as to, from a corporate perspective, bringing in several CEOs that are my clients and have them tell us what are the things that works when you are a coach consultant. How do you approach the organization? How do you approach me as the CEO to get my attention? What are the, the things you should be doing, shouldn't be doing, and to have a bunch of panels where we kind of look behind the curtain to see what's working in corporate from our corporate clients. Okay. I don't know if anybody else is doing anything like this, and I think it's very, very exciting. Okay. So you get a sneak preview and a behind the scenes look at what's working in corporate from their perspective and what's not. So again, monthly, just one time a month, 60 to 75 minutes, we'll figure that out, but a moment in time with some brief networking and connection with sisters, specialized programs, and special guest speakers, plus the referral program. And we will do more, but I want to know what more you'd like. Okay, so let me finish up a couple more slides and then let's get the conversation going about what would be important to you. So also, in the same conversation, I'd like to know, what are your top questions, when you're thinking about, you want to bring your current business, your book of business, your offers, the things that you're doing, you want to be able to unlock that corporate coaching code. What are your questions on how to do it and where to start and what are the issues? What are your top questions about that? Because we're going to answer those in our roundtable. And then number two is, what are your biggest challenges, do you think, in succeeding in corporate coaching and consultant? So we want to make sure we'll be doing a lot of surveys, but today, those are my questions. What would you like out of a roundtable? And what are your questions about how to unlock the corporate coaching code and succeed in corporate coaching? So I will pause here and stop the sharing and would love your feedback on the roundtable. What are your thoughts? Do you like it? Are you interested? Yeah.
I think it offers a lot. So especially for the commitment, the time commitment. So I can see how it's super beneficial. Yeah. Yeah.
One time a month. Easy. Right?
And,
yeah. Great.
And I think a lot of us get locked into what I do instead of what I know that I don't tap into regularly. And that it helps us when we're in community with others and somebody's talking about something. Frequently, all of a sudden you go, oh, wait a minute, I've done this in the past, or I've had this experience that I could share with somebody. It's like even telling a story that somebody brings something up and it reminds you of a story that you've heard from somebody else that could be a powerful lesson shared. It doesn't have to be your personal experience, but it is a learning from the either traumatic thing that happened to somebody else or the solution that they created when they thought there was no solution. Those things that show examples of how to unlock those stories we tell. And when you're collectively sharing those stories, you start to realize, I don't have to experience everything myself. I can sometimes share somebody else's story. I give them credit for this story. I don't say it's mine, but you share those things you've learned in a way that allow others to go, oh, that will help me with this situation.
Thank you, Susan, because if we can find shortcuts and strategies and workarounds and, as it's often said in golf, is go to school on their putt, It's going to be, we're just going to avoid the potholes, all these analogies, but it's really good. Thank you, Susan. Yeah, thank you. Lessons learned, really, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And I also think what I love about the idea of working together is that sometimes by being able to either refer somebody else in to solve a specific problem, you do become the go-to for others, because they go, she didn't make it all about me buying from her. She made it about me finding a solution to the problem I had. And that makes them come back to you more repeatedly because they know you will help them find what they need. There might be ways to put together a consortium for a specific project that some company needs, that you aren't the only component they need, but they need things that 2 or 3 of us do together. And we could sell that much faster than we could sell any one of us. And I think those sorts of things really help us all to start going, oh, wait a minute, I'm not looking at somebody as competition. I'm looking at them as a collaborator that I could create more for us both and do more for the world in solving problems, because I am not trying to stand here alone and conquer the world.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. Yeah.
Hey, Susan, and Kathleen, forgive me, and Dipti too. I'm going to sign off and sign back onto my phone. Unfortunately, I just got an alert that there's a little traffic, so I have to actually make it to a physical place at the top.
There we go, Sandra.
So,
Perfect. Thank you so much.
But you'll see me pipe in, and if you could just let me back in, then I'll be listening.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, we love it.
Okay.
Travel safe.
Great.
I will.
Thanks.
All right.
Great. Good. Yeah, great. Good.
Kathleen, I think you have incredible offerings for people, because a lot of us, even if we've had corporate experience, may have been so long ago that the corporate connections we have aren't really there to leverage. It doesn't mean that we have no corporate experience. We just don't have recent corporate experience. And I think what we all can help each other to do is validate what we bring to the table. It's that third party recognition sometimes, where somebody else calls out, oh yes, I've seen so and so do their work, and they would be capable for you, or they would speak well for your group, whatever that is, that gives us that small foot in the door. And as you well know, sometimes it's the small foot in the door that leads to the big contracts later on. I think so many people attempt to find it on the first contact, thinking, oh, I'll get this giant thing and it'll be there forever. It's the little things you do repeatedly that make you the resource they'll come back to.
Absolutely. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Susan, and these relationships, I think, warming up the relationships that we had in the past with something new to talk about and listen for and offer, so important. And the collaboration, I call it co-acceleration, the coming together is really, really very powerful. And we women do this. Oh my goodness. It's almost like we're going to be having a potluck dinner, everybody bring your best. And yeah.
And I think depending on what our role was in corporate, we may now be coming in as a coach consultant in a different framework. So it is difficult for somebody who has known you in a certain capacity for them to switch off how they saw you in that capacity. When you're around other coaches and consultants looking at how you do work, some of them can then give you a referral into maybe not the business you were in, but a related company that can benefit from you because they don't see you as your past role. And I think that for a lot of coaches becomes that difficult piece to conquer. They still see me as whatever role I was when I was in their employment.
Right. What a great point too, Susan. Yes. And the one thing that I also want to bring up in future programs is a common phenomenon that is when we've left corporate and we think, well, I'd like to go back in to serve, people. There's some, I don't think that it's too dramatic to say there's some actual internal processing that we need to go through. There's some healing we need to go through because we left corporate for a variety of reasons.
Yes.
And I remember my first, literally the first 6 months, I remember saying to myself, heck no, I left there for a reason. I am not going back there, and so there was some trauma I had to work
Yes.
through
Yes.
to be able to be fully not cynical, not, affected by the reasons that I left, but to shift my mindset that I can actually be I can be a catalyst for change. I can be a healer in my own way. I can provide what I didn't have. And those that will, those that won't. It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
Beautiful. Very nice. Good. Thank you. So I think we're on the right path. And
Absolutely. Definitely.
yeah, thank you. And again, with the small time commitment, and my belief too is the structure of this is often, it's what's next. And so we'll be taking action on this. This is going to be for those members who are part of the Women's Coaching and Consulting Council in C-Suite Network. You will be sistered in to this new roundtable for no additional fees. I used to say grandmothered in, but I got the coaching like, let's make it more sister. Okay, sister. So you'll be sistered in for no additional investment. And then for those people that are in C-Suite Network, it's merely a $500 per year investment, which is really, it's very, very little. And then for those that are joining C-Suite Network, it's joining at an executive level for I think $1,000, $1,100, and adding our council for $500, adding our roundtable. So $500 for the year. I mean, it's my intention and commitment is that we provide value, adding at least 2, 3, 4 zeros to that.
Yeah.
Great. So
A
any
wonderful
other
thing.
questions about Roundtable? We'll be doing a formal survey that everyone can take, and I'm going to send it out to all of the wonderful women who registered. What is it that you're looking for? And, what's the form of it and how can we be in service?
I think you've got it outlined beautifully. Thank you.
Thank you. Good. Yeah, great. Good. Sandra D, anything before we complete? Dipti, anything else? So grateful that you're here. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for joining us from India, Dipti. We appreciate that.
Yeah, very good.
My
Well,
pleasure, ma'am. My pleasure, ladies. Thank you.
thank you. Good. We look forward to you joining us. Great. And learning more about you. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sure. Kathleen, by any chance, would the recording be shared or would there be any summary of the session?
Very nice. Well, thank you. Thank you. Let me pop back on my slides because that's how I'm going to finish up. Dipti, you're anticipating so lovely in such a beautiful way. So let me jump in and just complete here. Yes, thank you. Thank you to each of you for being here live and also to each of you for watching our replay. And so thank you. We have our own YouTube channel on our council. And so, we'll be taking action as our next steps are to send out a survey that a confidential survey that you can respond to very, very easily to answer some questions on what's important to you about a roundtable. Where are you experiencing challenges and how can we support you? So we'll be taking action. And of course, always what's next is I encourage each of you, always have something next for you to invite people to. I'm an inviter of all events. And so, every Saturday we're having our Women's Saturday Morning Success Circle. This Saturday, we are celebrating our 60th consecutive Saturday circle, 60 consecutive. And our topic is procrastination, how to unlock the chains, how to cut the cord, how to be done with procrastination. I decided I could not wait anymore to do this topic. So procrastination. So that's this Saturday, 27 minutes. And, as you know, I think the real secret to all of this is being powerful together, doing this together, locking arms as sisters and making a global impact because our clients are waiting. And so with that, The broadcast will be on our YouTube channel. We'll put the link in. Everybody that registered will get a link to this particular broadcast. And of course, we'll be partnering with our Coaching and Consulting Council. Delighted to promote you, showcase you, highlight you, give you a platform to rise and shine. So we're very excited about that. And then individual questions, feel free, schedule a time with me on Calendly. I'm so easy to find, send me a DM on LinkedIn, Facebook, or just go right to Calendly, put my full name in, Kathleen Caldwell, schedule a time with me. Okay, we can talk about your corporate coaching and consulting business. So with that, thank you. Thank you. The replay will be out within 24 hours. My team will do that. And so grateful to each of you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. A wonderful session, Kathleen. Thank you.
I'm all about what's new and good. So there we go. Good. Sandra D, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Lots of love to you. Blessings. And Dipti, thank you as well. And thank you to everyone. Bye for now.
Very welcome. My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Lovely
Thank
talk.
you.
Thanks. Thanks, Kathleen.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.